tonight, I'm here for Bar Rescue's after show.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
You'll do that better next week. Well, here we are. Keven Undergaro, Bar Rescue, after show. But I am so excited / relieved to finally have a co-host this week. Gabby Loren, my old co-host from AFTERBUZZ TV Jersey Shore.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Gab.
It's been crazy, but I'm so glad we're having this reunion right now. I mean, we started day oneers.
You know what? You're right.
Yeah.
Day one of AFTERBUZZ, in the whole history of AFTERBUZZ.
I mean, I don't know if I went back that far, did I?
What was Jersey Shore was the first show we ever did?
It was the first show, so I am technically on the first show, or was on the first show of AFTERBUZZ.
Yes. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm back here again.
So we randomly connect, and she stumbled onto Bar Rescue, and like everyone, saw an episode, hooked, right? And then Gabby's a huge background in promotions and marketing, and going to bars for how many years doing work and promotion, right?
So it's been since 2009. So I've been working for all these different companies. I'm still with one of the same ones I've been with for the last 6 years or so. And we do a lot of the products that you saw in tonight's show, like Smirnoff, Don Julio, Johnny Walker. So yes, I am part of the marketing team that goes out, knows everything there is to know about these products. So I see all these bars and what goes on.
So you hear that amazing voice, you see that amazing face. Now you know she has a background in this. So fans, we finally have someone else in here. You know, normally I have Mia, who is a Bar Rescue expert. Lisa Marie Joyce has been up here, and I've had different people come in. But the problem is, because I'm taping the day after rather than the night, it's been really hard. And so a lot of fans have said, "Come on, Kev, like enough you being alone doing this. We need to."
You need to spice it up a little bit.
I need to spice it up a little bit. We can see even with my opening, like they have us do this opening now at AFTERBUZZ. I don't know how to do it, but you're an experienced host, so you're going to be handling it.
I still need you to show me the ropes every now and then.
No, for hosting? Are you kidding me?
Come on, Kev, you're not so bad.
Come on. No, so Gabby also just does every major red carpet, and no, you're an unbelievable host. I'm so excited to have you doing this with us.
Well, thank you, Kev. And I actually went from a lot of red carpet stuff, which is how I met you guys,
right,
to doing more live event stuff, which is funny. I started live with you,
right,
and I moved on to other live things where I'm doing motorsports, crazy, something I never thought I would ever do.
I know, but you're
so fun.
But you're a good example of someone who's all in.
Yeah.
Kathy Kelly, who Kathy wasn't into wrestling. We pushed her into it. She fell in love with it, and now she works for WWE. And you did the same thing. You got into wrestling.
Yeah,
right?
Me too. Right? I still watch it.
So I mean, it's great. Yeah, but that's you guys are open to change and whatever, and bringing it back to Bar Rescue. What you're going to find is most of these owners aren't. And this is why John has this huge fight with them, and he's only got 4 days to do it. And basically, he's got 4 days to do it, but he has a day and a half really to get through to them, because the other days are spent physically building the bar.
Right.
So when you're stubborn and you don't want to change and open-minded, you can see how hard it is. So give me so tonight was Demolition Man. Give me your. This is great. I'm so excited to be with a newbie. So what were your initial thoughts of Demolition Man?
So at first, you see John Tapper. He comes in, very aggressive man, but it reminds me of home. Not gonna lie, I'm from New York. If you guys don't know this, East Coast. But I actually started to fall in love with how aggressive he was throughout the rest of the episode, because I think only a man like him can whip these people into shape.
Right.
You know, so it was interesting to see. I feel like every episode probably has their own story and why their bar is either failing or they need a recon.
Well, everyone's gonna have a different story, and what's fun about the show is it's not always the same. So you're gonna see this.
And I think that's what I got, even though I've only seen a few episodes.
Right.
That's why it's probably gonna be amazing for me to see how all these different bars, find John, or John finds them, and he's able to really make them something that can be successful.
So I like how you're empathetic to him having to yell and be tough. The one thing I'm hearing more and more from you millennials is about being bullied. I feel like you've taken this way too far. So now you've kind of, not to be gross here, you've cut the balls off of the coach. You know what I mean? The guy or the girl, but that's coaching. Sometimes it's the Army. It goes back to being a drill sergeant. Anything, you know, sometimes that's what's needed to get through to somebody.
I think it was done in a tasteful manner on this show. There's a certain line you don't cross, I think, with the whole bullying factor. But in the show, I think they do a great job at doing what they need to do to get the message across for a change. And it happens, and they become better for it. And I think what he's doing is working, and you can't have a soft guy go in there.
You can't.
Because it wouldn't work out. Nobody would listen.
All right, it's Grinders. The place is Grinders in Santa Clarita. Dave Murray and his wife Jessica own the place. I just got off the phone with someone on the way here to do the show who was telling me that they used to always go to the Grinders, and that there were several different owners before Dave got it. This is what I was told. That's why you saw Grinders Pizza, Grinders Wings, Grinders Deli, Grinders Sports Bar. There were just several different owners that each one had a different take. And he said the last owner was a jerk. This is what my friend had told me. And the sandwiches were okay, and the pizza was actually good. He's like, but it was a mess inside, and you never really knew what the business was. So it's just a little interesting background information. He buys a pizza place for $77,000, decides to change into a bar, but without permits.
Right, which is your first mistake.
Right, but you know, it's funny. It is your first mistake, and I have to say that I've always been, not at this age, but when I was younger, I would have been coming from the having a background in the carnival business. And by the way, as an indie filmmaker, you're all about working without permits. You're all about how you get around things. So I understand why he did it. And what you end up seeing with these shows, as you'll get to see, is these guys dig themselves into such holes that they get so down and depressed that they just remove themselves. They anesthetize the pain. They drink. And
that's exactly what he was doing in this situation.
Right. And I was saying, I was with my girlfriend Maria, my fiance, and I said,
"Get used to saying that word."
Fiance, yeah, it's weird to get used to. But I said to her, "Why can't I have a wife like this? Did you see that wife? Like, I was like, if we ever had a business, would you ever let me sit in the corner and just drink?"
Well, it's not that she wanted to let him sit there. She was just hesitant, I think, to call attention to it.
Would you ever let your significant other just sit there?
No, hell no. You better be up there working your butt off with me.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Where do these guys find these girls? And she was pretty too, but I knew back in the East Coast, nice Italian girl would do that. Would just keep working for the guy.
Yeah, I think it's a personality thing. Maybe she's a little insecure. She has to man it if he's not going to step up.
So she's a pleaser.
And if she's a pleaser, she doesn't know how to maybe confront him about it.
But also you're right. I mean, she's got kids at home, right? Someone's got to do the work.
Someone's got to do the work if he's not going to do it. That's right.
So we have our experts. We had Tiffany Perry, who you probably don't know this, but she actually was one of the leads on Hungry Investor, and I think she won a reality show. And I don't want to. I don't know if it was Top Chef or one of them, but she's very prolific in this end of the business. So that was a great pick. And then Daniel Ponsky behind the bar also was great. They're horrified by what they see, which is every week. I mean, they usually are. But it was funny because I always wait for that moment where John gets so mad he has to get out of the car. Like he was like, I want someone to what did he say? I want to put pokers through my eyes. He waits
till the boiling point before he decides to go in and confront them.
Yes. And so what were some of the things that you remember seeing that, were you affected watching?
Well, okay, so I want to bring attention to one of the things you already brought up about the branding of what your friend said, how they noticed that it never seemed like it was cohesive. So when John Taffer mentioned it, I agreed, because nowadays that's everything. Your marketing, I mean, the sign itself, I was wondering, well, did they take it from the other ownership and forget to white out the bottom part? When they had the sign up in the shopping center?
I think it's just laziness, Gab.
It's so lazy.
Maria and I, my fiance and I, we were having bagels the other day, and we were looking across the street at some store, and it was the same thing, all messy, different signs. And she's, Kevin, like, common sense. Don't these people realize? And yet most people won't go that extra mile just to black out those other signs. Even I see it all, don't you? I've seen this in businesses.
Oh, I've seen it.
Right?
Definitely in businesses. But I mean, it just shows how much effort you're putting in, and if you really care about what you're doing, and how long that life is going to last with the business.
So this is the first red flag.
First red flag.
First red flag that we see. There's no soda guns behind the bar. They're using
that was a shocker.
Right.
First of all,
Right.
No soda guns, no wells, no workspace. They're grabbing ice from the soda machine.
And filling the drinks under a. So I've never seen that before.
I've never seen someone make a margarita with ice from a soda machine.
And
that was crazy.
And what did you think of the vinyl on top of the bar? Remember they had the
it
rubber
just
mats?
didn't look good. It looked like a ratchet job.
It did. It looked. I mean, we built a bar in my college. We had a barn in the back of our house, and we built and it looked much better than that. That's how bad. I'm not kidding. That's how bad it looked.
I believe you.
We have 6 weeks left, right, before they're going to shut the place down, and he needs. But even like needing the 10 grand, it's like put it on your credit card, right? Like wouldn't you
take a loan maybe?
Something. Wouldn't you throw that Hail Mary?
But the problem is with this show, it's only an hour, and even though an hour is considered a long time, to me, I feel that there's so much information and things that are happening while John's in there that they don't really get to fully explore everything. So it would have been nice to kind of see, with the 6 weeks that they were given, what they were able to do with it behind the scenes.
Right.
Everything's kind of quick. They go in and they repo it real quick.
And then imagine 4 days.
Yeah.
And so I can't even imagine
36 hours,
the
he said, for the code violations.
To get all that stuff through, I don't care. I've seen people in LA, multimillionaires, even billionaires, have a difficult time getting things through on a timely basis. I know even when we did our studio here, it just was like, okay, that's great. You want to have this renovation done in 2 months, but permits or whatever, sorry, it's going to be 6 months.
So do you think John Taffer with his team went in and because of the show were able to get those things done real quick?
Yes.
Okay.
And hopefully there was some, politically they said, hey, this will be great for the community, that we'll get, and we're saving a business, and come on. I mean, so yeah, hopefully somebody high up on the food chain was like, listen, it's only more money for the city,
right?
For them to do the right thing. We see food time, 35 minutes it took to get the food out.
And can we talk about how they made the food?
Yeah, tell me, what did you think of the roast beef?
Oh my God. So they brought in these two girls from BuzzFeed to kind of go undercover, and they ordered food. The way they made this roast beef, I've never seen this before. They took it out of the freezer. It was like a chunk. And then put pieces in what looked like a soup. I don't know what they said it was. Did you see it was a liquid substance?
Yes, it was the au jus part of the roast beef. It was supposed to be the juice.
Yeah, I've never ever worked with that before. And they weren't even using gloves or anything.
So they microwaved in the plastic.
And the woman...
Right, which is just so toxic. And then you're done with that.
Yes, so bad.
So bad. Is that they pull that out, then they put it in the au jus.
And she's like pushing it down with her fingers.
Yeah.
It just looked unsanitary, on top of dangerous, and not appetizing at all.
No.
Yeah, so that was interesting. And obviously, the girls thought it tasted like rubber.
Right.
Wasn't surprised by that.
Not surprised.
But I think that was really when John needed to step in.
And it's when he snapped.
Yeah.
And then the bartender girl who was the classic millennial. She had the funky glasses, the bow in her hair, and just like on paper it looked amazing. Right, spinning glasses.
Oh, totally.
Remember?
Her name was Sterling.
Sterling. She didn't have the perfect name.
Like Sterling Silver.
Right. And there she is doing her thing, and I'm like, woohoo! And then just when you peel the layers away, couldn't even make the most simple drink.
No, I mean, they were saying she was taking over 5 minutes to get a drink out. One drink out.
All right. So again, I have to just say, Gab, it's like the millennials, like. I just see so many. It's not even millennials. I think so many people in life are never pushed beyond their capacity. It's my big thing. I'm always saying to people, like, no, come on, like you have more in you to give, and you could tell a girl like that had never really been pushed, so she just literally would freeze when as they were doing I'm jumping ahead, but when in the stress test, you could see she was just coming unglued because I don't think anyone ever really had pushed her, but on paper. Like I said, the ribbon, the glasses, spinning and a lot of people just kind of can cruise by on that. When you have a shitty system, when you have a shitty bar, you're like the rock star.
Sometimes they don't know any better. And with that being said, is Santa Clarita considered a small town? I've not been there, so I'm not
It's
sure.
hard to say anything in Southern California, small town, right? Because
Well,
everything
there's farmland here.
true, but we're so heavily populated. It does get looser up there. It gets more spacious. It's not gonna be like L.A.,
Right.
But it's smaller.
Because I'm wondering, environmentally and where she grew up, that's just probably the area, and a lot of people over there are probably. I look at the bar owner, same situation. No one pushed him to do the right thing, or no one pushed him to really find out what he needed to do in order to make this bar survive.
What you're gonna see as you watch this show is so many people, so many of these men have the male fantasy of opening a bar, and then they get into this.
They don't know what they're getting into.
And they don't know. We say every week we say here, just take anywhere from $5,000, even if you want to take 50 or 60, and renovate your basement or your garage. we have a friend, a couple we're friends with down in New Orleans, and they took their garage, and when I tell you it looks as good as any bar you've ever been to, country bar. It's incredible. And they spent urinals, and he's like, no, they spent like 50 or 60 grand. Jukebox, darts. It's unbelievable. And so when we go, every time we go to see them, we get invited over to their bar. We never go to dinner. And you go there, and it's unbelievable. It's the most amazing thing. And then they'll tell stories of what happened in the bar, and they make Maria sign something, and they're like, look, we've also had someone else in the bar. I forget the other celebrities they had in there. But it was just a great thing. And so look at them. They've got a feature in their house that they enjoy, without all the stress and the aggravation. It's like we tell people, if that's your fantasy, just go do it.
Well, they're drawing you in because it's a warmth, right? That's what John talked about. It's welcoming,
right? And
that's what this bar needed.
It had none of it. And then he hammers the crap out of the owner, from the way he dresses to admit you're a loser. I won't admit it. It's hard. It's hard as a male to hear that.
Oh my God, it's hard for men to admit that they're wrong about anything.
Yeah, it is tough. If with me, I'm at an age where I just feel like between my age and the fact that I've had so much beaten out of me, I just looked at Maria and I was like, okay, I'm a loser. Next.
Oh my God.
I can't fix the bar. Let's do it.
On what level? It's so funny that you say that, but you've done so much. I couldn't even categorize you like that.
There's been a lot of failure along the way.
Yeah, but that's how you become stronger, just like this guy.
But a lot of struggle and beatings along the way, and you just sometimes I'll say to people, you know what, you need it beaten out of you. Even with Maria, and certain times it broke my heart to see her terrorized in some of the jobs she's worked at. But after the fact, I was like, you know what, I hate saying this, but you needed it beaten out of you. Mm-hmm. Just certain things beaten out of you. So the pride gets beaten out of you. The arrogance gets beaten out of you.
Right.
You get beaten down to humility. Openness.
Everybody needs to experience that.
You do. So, and it's hard. His wife is there. His staff is there. It's really hard to be undressed like that.
I couldn't imagine how humiliating it must be as an owner to sit there and be reamed out by John Taffer in front of all your employees, your wife. He pretty much called him out, saying that he was a bad husband as well.
Right. And you know what, though? He's right.
Yeah. He's definitely right. But it takes a strong person to be able to look at the facts and say, yes, that's me, like he was asking him to do.
You have 2 kids at home, and you're in debt, and everything's falling apart, and you're just sitting there drinking with your friends. But by the way, get used to that. We see that on every show. But I also think, and again, that's why I love this show, because I think it's such a great metaphor for everything you do in life. How many people do you know in your life that are also overwhelmed, and rather than kind of meet that challenge head on, they're drinking over with their friends at the bar, so to speak? Either they're drinking, or they're out shopping, or they're not, they're not dealing with their problems.
Right.
They run away from them. And on this show we see it every week, where the people just quit. They quit. They just get too overwhelmed. They can't handle it.
I think they need someone like John to come in and say, hey, I'm here to help.
Yeah.
But it's hard. I'm the same way. I hate asking people for help. I hate it. I almost never do. So I think these guys go to the point where this is the last resort. Do or die.
Anyway, he finally he says, I admit I've been acting like a loser. So we at least got him to come that far. By the way, he didn't. A lot of these owners, you'll see, like, we have owners who are just assholes, right? There's a guy from the Cockroach Bar. There's a guy from the bar Canyon Inn. There's a bar, O-Face, which you saw the episode where he walked out on, where John walked out on, where just assholes, just bad people, mother effers.
Yeah.
Then we have the wackadoodles, like Wonder Bar, Pirates, and so many more.
Who we love.
We adore. And then we have people like this who I just felt like they were pretty normal people. And he probably was successful in whatever business. I know he was in sales or something beforehand. And he just got overwhelmed. He didn't seem like a bad guy. Like I when I saw his size, the tats, whatever, I thought he was going to be a DB douchebag, but I don't think he was. What'd you think?
No, I actually didn't think he was too much of a DB. I've seen worse DBs.
Yeah.
But I think he definitely needed smacked into him so he can shape up and get the ship rolling, because he was on a downward spiral, and I don't agree with how he was treating his employees or his wife.
Yeah.
She was running around doing everything. He's drinking on the side of the bar, not even caring.
Gabby Loren's husband is not going to be allowed to do that.
Oh, no way.
No, yeah,
Otherwise, there will be no husband.
There will be no husband, yeah, see. See, that's health. Well, again, but then you have your kid, but you kick the husband out and take care of the kids on your own.
I mean, I'm a strong, independent woman. I think I could do anything.
Yeah, you would. You'd throw him out and you just find a way with the kids.
You make it work.
Okay, so we go to the training and we give them, and this is what's fun too, is every week they're always finding a new, somehow 100 and something episodes in, John's still finding new ways to train these guys, and he puts them in Fitbit watches.
I wanted to laugh about that. I think it's awesome, first of all, counting the amount of steps you take to make these drinks.
Steps are money.
Steps are money. Money is time.
It is.
Time is money.
And then even wear and tear.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember when I tended bar for those couple of years, and the one bar I had to work, some nights, if they thought it was slow, they would just put on one bartender. But then you'd get the weird random band that would come in that would have a cult following, and you're like, oh my God. And you're running around the bar. Or
the person that calls out at the bar, and then you're left by yourself as a bartender.
Yes.
Struggling to get everyone's orders.
And you try to keep one station open, but this bar, the way it was set up, it wasn't possible to do that. So it was just literally running around the bar, and you just see how much, and just the customers are upset. You're physically exhausted. It's funny because I gave you a tour of our studio, but everything here is set up for ease. I don't know if you could kind of see even the way we didn't.
It's all thought out.
Yes, and it's another thing people don't do. You know, in the carny business, I used to have these trailers that we sold food. We sold sausages out of them, hot dogs, funnel cakes, fried dough, whatever. But they were all configured in a way where you would have your counter, you would have your ingredients, you would have your cooking mechanisms, and then your service window. And it was all so literally it would just be your hands that would move, but your body wouldn't have to move much.
Well, there's definitely a method to the madness, and I think skill sets aside, whether or not they were good bartenders or bad bartenders or servers,
they were set up to fail.
They were set up to fail.
They were.
At this location.
Our poor girl, Sterling.
Poor Sterling.
Poor Sterling.
I really liked her.
You know what?
Not gonna lie,
I liked her.
Found it endearing that she was a little different and unique. And
I liked all of that.
Bubbly.
What I liked most, though, was that she hung in.
Yeah,
because
she stuck it out.
I don't want to give anything away. So I did a bar rescue recon with John. God, we're a week too late. I would have taken you with me.
You recently did one?
Yes, we went out there, and as a host of the Bar Rescue After Show, I was invited to do a full recon, stress test, and reveal. So I had to go out to way out in the middle of nowhere in California for three days, and it was incredible.
Wow, Kev, you're official now.
Well, I've done a bunch of the shows with Maria.
Yeah, I remember.
We've done them before, but this was great because it was just me.
Right.
And with Maria, because her schedule's so crazy, we usually go in and out. We tape our stuff and we leave. But to go all in, no pun intended for Bar Rescue fans, to go all in and to be there every single day and really see it, it was mind-boggling. But there was one bartender who, similar to Sterling, had the look and the attitude, and you would think was amazing, but wasn't. Was actually very negative and
behind the scenes or on camera.
Both. Both.
Okay, so you actually see it.
Yeah, and I just like that this girl played through, because we've seen on this show, we've seen the listen, bartenders.
Spoiler alert.
No, this isn't a spoiler, but it's a general note about bartenders in general, guys and girls, are definitely going to be more arrogant than your waiters. You're protected by this barrier. You have tons of attention. Everyone, needs you and wants you. You have the power, at least in Massachusetts, you have the power to throw someone out. Oh, Gabby, you're drinking. Gabby, you're drunk. Oh, really? Okay, you're out of here. No, I'm not. I've had to take one beer. You're drunk. Get out. So a lot of bartenders have huge egos and really shitty attitudes. And then there's ones who are amazing. They have the great attitudes and they're rock stars. But what happens on the show is someone maybe has a great look, like this girl did, and they can just get by on that. We see it on the show a lot, where they're just cracking open beers, they're making really lame drinks.
Yeah.
But guys put up with it because they like the girls, or girls put up because they like the guys. And then John comes and calls them out, and they're like, "Whoa, wait a second," because they've been a star. And we've seen many bartenders just walk out on the show because they can't take it. And what I like about Sterling is she hung in.
And I have to say, I actually did take a bartending class. It is hard,
it's hard
to be able to make, if someone's asking, for 5 drinks at once, and you have to find the common ingredients in all 5 drinks and be able to do it very quickly and precisely.
It's a trade.
It's mixology, and it is a trade.
It's a trade.
So having someone yell at you as aggressive as John, or even, what was his name, Daniel?
The owner?
No, Ponsky.
Oh yeah, Daniel.
Ponsky,
yeah,
the mixologist.
Yeah, he's tough.
The expert mixologist. He was very tough too. Very nice guy, but also very tough.
Very tough
as well. He really came down on Sterling, and I think a lot of people crack under pressure, but change doesn't happen unless you break.
Thank you. See, right? So you're amazing. But Gab, I actually think you'd walk out.
I might cry.
No, you would cry, but would you?
I'm a really
think
strong
you'd
person. I
walk
might
out.
cry after the episode. I would go home to my room
by the
and
way,
be upset.
there's nothing wrong with crying. I say that all the time. Roxy, our mutual friend, we argued about this on the air on the Tomorrow Show. Shout out for the Tomorrow Show, thetomorrowshow.com. It's our show we do a couple of nights a week. But we were arguing about crying because we were talking about bullying, and I brought up John and how hard he has to go on these people to break through them, and she was saying, the crying, she just has no tolerance for it.
Wow.
She was like, God, these people, these girls, and they're crying. It's like, and I said, no,
she's so funny.
She's hilarious, but I'm very sensitive to it because you have to get your emotions out. A guy's gonna punch a wall, a girl's gonna cry. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with the crying, but you gotta hang in, and you gotta hang in, and not fight back, and not and not tell Daniel or John the right way to how drinks should be mixed, because we see that a lot.
I 100% agree with that. I mean, I think I probably would shed a tear if it was really hard.
It's okay.
But
would you hang in? That's the thing.
Yeah, because I don't like to give up on things. I'm not about giving up ever. I don't like to fail. I mean, I fail. I do, but I don't like it.
You don't like it.
So I keep going.
So you hang in. Okay.
Keep on trucking.
That's the most thing. So now we know we're taking way too many steps. Okay. They're turning out. They need to be turning out 3 to 4 drinks a minute. Okay, and the other thing too, you'll get used to Bar Rescue science. Like, they give you all these tips and stats.
Right.
So 3 to 4 drinks a minute is what the average bartender is supposed to be putting out, which is, again, like you said, not easy.
Not easy at all.
Not easy. They sold only 37 drinks that whole night for the
first night
for the stress test.
The stress test.
So obviously they know they have a lot to do, and so when they do the boot camp, kind of when they do a more refined teaching with them, that's when he really hammers him.
And this was also the night where they forgot the drink of one of the guests at the table with a few people.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is a big no-no in service.
Yes, big no-no.
I think it's horrible service when you forget to bring out plates, napkins, silverware. Those are basic things that should be on the table before anything. No. Before the person even sits there.
And if you're if you're a manager or an owner and you're free, this is stuff that you can be on top of.
Right.
With people going around the table. And there's other ways to keep people happy.
Which is where the owner could have gotten involved sooner.
Yes. Yeah. And he didn't, so whatever. they bring up the drink menu. They teach these kids how to do better drinks. But let's go into the kitchen. So Chef Tiffany adds a Cajun twist of pizza, and I was like, I love this. I was nervous they were going to dump the pizza thing. I'm like, no, I wouldn't do that because you have this equipment, and you're right. And people maybe
based off what your point is, I want to say my initial thought was work with what you've got.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what they did, and I love them for it. Pizza is an American thing.
Right.
We love it at the bars. So why not make use out of that oven that's sitting right there? You don't need to repo that also.
Right, and so you keep your day crowd that likes maybe does come in for pizza or whatever, because you see these kind of, I know at least back east we have lots of places that you can get pizza and beer. Construction workers come in, have a couple of beers at lunch, have their pizza. But I liked the interesting twist about pre-baking the pizza crust. Did you see that?
Pre-baking it?
Yeah.
No, I didn't catch that.
Instead of, usually you would stretch the dough, do the sauce, do the cheese, right, all that stuff, and there's more time involved. Whereas she's going to create those shells that she's going to pre-bake. So now you basically just throw instead of having to spread out the dough,
right,
you put the sauce on the cheese, you put it in. It's almost like flatbread pizza.
Sounds like they're all about efficiency here.
Well, it's a bar,
right?
So you want to be able to get that out quick, and think about it. If you're at a bar at nighttime, your mind, if it's truly a bar, your mind isn't in pizzeria mode. Like I'm not going to go to a bar for my favorite pizza. I'm going to go to get my favorite pizza at Mulberry Pizza in Encino, or you know what I mean? Like I'm going to for my pizza. But if I want to go have beers with my friends, and I know like, wow, let's get a couple pizzas. Like, no, it's, do you know what I'm saying? Like if the focus is on alcohol. If the focus is on
it works
alcohol,
together. They go side by side.
But you can kind of make it. You can be more about efficiency with the pizza rather than about, it's going to be the most amazing pizza I've ever tasted.
Right. Even though I still think she did a bomb job and it probably did taste
because
amazing.
You got Chef Tiffany who now makes it like crazy.
Yeah. Because there are bars that are known for their food. I mean, there's a place called Black Market in Studio City, I believe. It's off in Tora. I love their food.
See, I think
but this
food,
was a bar.
But I think food when I think of Black Market. I guess I don't think bar.
Their drinks are amazing too.
Okay, but you go. But
that's true, actually.
But by the way,
they're known for both.
Yeah, but they're probably known for both. No, and and you're right. You can't have both. It's just, I guess, because I'm in a bar mentality. It's like when I know I'm going out, I just want to go for drinks.
Because it's a bar. That's
right. Why. But the other thing is with these. I don't know if have you noticed places like out here in LA we have Pieology.
I've never been there. No.
There's a new pizza that's being made. Just more useless information probably, or maybe not, but there's these new pizza ovens that will cook a pizza in like 2 to 4 minutes, and from what I understand, there's even a patent issue and lawsuits going on now, because now that I told you, you're going to see them. Pieology, Pizza Rev.
I've heard of that one.
Okay, there's all these places, and what they do, Gab, is they'll stretch a small piece of dough, and literally right in front of you. What do you? Oh, I want cheese. I want this. I want. Okay, they make it like a sub, right? And then they toss it in this quick zap oven.
Those are brick ovens, aren't they?
No, no, these aren't brick ovens. It's a conveyor belt, and it's really fast.
Okay.
And but anyway, that whole kind of smaller pizza with that kind of crust is getting more and more popular, and you're seeing it more and more. Now I told you that, watch, you'll see it. It's funny. I think Kramer from on one of the episodes of Seinfeld, I remember talked about a restaurant where you made your own pizza. It's so funny, and it was a big joke, and ha, and here we are today. We have several
in 2016.
Now we have them.
Times are changing.
So you're right. I think this is great. And the other thing,
she comes in, Tiffany, and she makes the Cajun
stuff. So
Southwest fusion food.
And then what did she say? Like the three? I don't want to put you on the spot here. There were 3
the ingredients:
onions, bell peppers, and celery.
I knew I should have wrote it down, but yes, I think that's
is the
what
Trinity,
it was.
right?
Yeah.
And then, and then I also thought, going back to the bar, I liked the fact that they talked about making drinks in batches.
I agree, 100%.
So you make a batch of your mix, whatever it is, you make that when you first get in, and now you can just crank out, because a lot of times when
big events they do that,
or
easier.
bars that push out a lot of drinks, and or let's say you only have one bartender. The one time, so a lot of times when I watch the show, I get nervous because a lot of the mixologists they bring in, they'll create such intricate drinks and they look gorgeous and they're amazing. But I'm like, oh my God, when you guys leave, there's no way these shitbirds are going to be able to handle this. And so they're going to go back to failing. So I like the fact that he incorporated the batches because clearly her attitude was great, Sterling's, and then the wife's attitude's amazing too, but they're not the best mixologists. It's going to take a while to get them there. So I love the idea that he gave them the batch recipes.
Right. Not every bartender is a mixologist. So they're learning. They're in progress.
Right.
But I do have to say, we're starting to do that a lot in the marketing events that I do. Like when we did Angel Stadium a week or so ago, we had batches that we had the bartenders make for us. So we don't have to keep asking them for things because we sample out the cocktails.
So wait, you're sampling out alcohol?
Yeah, we're sampling out alcohol. We did Kettle One and Don Julio like a week or so ago.
At Angel Stadium?
At Angel Stadium.
I mean, like, do a lot of people keep coming back for more?
Oh my God, people, even when we're not ready, are coming over to us like, what do you got?
Well,
Can I get a free sample? Whatever.
And so how many ounces is the...
It's a 1/4 ounce sample, but we give a little bit more because it's a mixture. If it's only the alcohol, it's a 1/4 ounce. But if it's a mixed cocktail with the alcohol in it, you could sample more because that's not all alcohol.
How are you with people coming back, more?
You can't. It's one sample per person.
It has to be, right? Because this is alcohol. Right. It's not
because it's alcohol and it's a sample. We're not actually selling it. We buy the bottle from the bar. So we're not allowed to give out, a certain amount of free alcohol. You can only have one sample.
Do you think the sampling works?
Oh, yeah. It's great marketing.
Yeah.
Because if people don't know about the product or they weren't planning on drinking it, now we've increased bar sales because they love the cocktail and now they're going to order it at the bar.
You're amazing, Gabby. I'm going to tell you why I think so off there.
Thanks,
you
Kev.
are amazing. No, but I can see why it works because people probably get excited.
And they also associate our energy and our knowledge of the brand and the product with the product we're promoting. So next time they go into a bar, they're going to remember, oh, Kettle One, I remember those girls and I had such a good time and a great experience. And now they have a positive... mentality
in their memory,
right? And it's in their memory. It's subconscious. It's not even something that they consciously
I shouldn't even have asked you like if it works because why would companies be spending billions of dollars on this?
No, but it's a great question because I'm sure there's people out there that have the same question you just had.
I was going to tell you last week when I did the recon, I met a girl there that is all about rebranding. She did the uniforms for the bar rescue that I did. And we got into a fascinating conversation about presentation and uniforms and how, right?
That's everything.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's a major part of the positive energy you're giving to the brand and the product. Because that's what those customers are associating their product with.
Interesting. When you must wear the little, because I've seen you do it on St. Patty's Day, you've worn some of the little outfits.
Well, this one, Angel Stadium, it's just a jersey, Angel's jersey with the branding Don Julio or Kettle One on the back with a number. And we wear an Angel hat, jeans, and Converse.
Okay, Gary, how much?
We're just cute.
Okay, can I ask you, how much time did you get hit on?
I mean, it happens for sure. But I love it when we could talk to somebody and they have no idea what we're about to do and how much we know about the product and we completely change their perception of what we're doing.
See, that passion, that's what I'm saying. Like, God, like if you ever wanted to open a bar, I mean, seriously, but that's what's missing from a lot of these. Just the passion you have for a small little job. Can you imagine if the owners of these bars had that same passion? And maybe you'll, as you watch more of these episodes, a lot of them did at one time. And
they got lost somewhere.
It got beaten out of them. So we go to the sit down, and it's a pretty easy sit down. Sometimes these can be really hard, or there's some major breakthrough that takes place. But I feel like, this couple knew what they needed to do. This guy needed to get, they just were like, okay, we'll be good, but can you just make the permit issues go away? I felt like he would get back to where he needed to be once that happened. So there was a lot of shooting behind the scenes, and it was fun to see all the people who work behind the scenes Bar Rescue. Katie Dirks, who's the executive producer. I could see the art designer who I love. They all were crowding around John to figure out how the hell do we get this thing permitted in 36 hours, which is really cool to see. And it was amazing that they were able to pull it off the way they did. But let's go to the reveal. What did you think of the exterior so the Cajun Belle's the new name. What did you think of the exterior?
I loved it. He is so smart by creating, first of all, the branding of the title of the bar. They redid it. Big, bright lights to grab attention from people driving by. I think it was in a shopping center, right?
Yes, yeah.
That is so important when you have a bar or a restaurant or any sort of, facility that you're trying to attract customers into. So that's a big deal. Another thing I could bring outside experience into this for was when I worked for Samsung doing product specialist work with them. They had a studio here in LA, and for like 2 months or so, they were missing a huge sign like the one we saw that John put up out in the front of the building. It was right across from the Grove. That would say Samsung. Nobody knew what the building was. People thought it was a nightclub. So we were losing consumers daily, and they were going to the Grove. They're like, what is this place?
How many people at the Grove were they missing out on?
Yeah, and people don't even want to come in unless you have, the name of the place up. They think it's weird and creepy. So it's very important. And then eventually when they put the sign up, of course, we had more consumers walking in.
And then he blacked out the door that went to whatever, another business.
Blacked out the door. I think that was genius. Don't make it confusing. People want things easy and simple. And it was friendly. And I think they also made it a little more chic inside. I love it.
Yeah,
I'm sure this guy...
So go to the interior and it's, yes, they tore down the whole bar.
Yeah, they tore down the whole thing.
Whole bar got torn down. Mm-hmm. They built a brand... So we've really have seen them build a new bar. We usually see them put on a new bar top, or they'll add some accoutrements to it, maybe some new siding, but this was from the ground up, a new bar.
Yeah, I mean, the inside was totally janky before, so they needed to do something to make it appealing for people to go in. And I think they really did a number on this one. It's going to, it did increase their sales. We heard about that after.
I knew this was going to be a winner. The one thing, I want to ask John, too, how the lighting, just if you watch this episode back again, you'll see they did colored lighting under the bar, and I want to know how they achieved that. But the lighting effects that they usually come up with every week, you were noticing here at AfterBuzz. Mm-hmm. You said, why is this?
The lighting was cool on the door.
Yeah,
outside.
And I said, that's not the door. It's not just the finish on the door. It's the paint. It's the light.
It's not that cool.
It's not. Well, it's the light, but all learned from Bar Rescue.
Right.
Because John talks every week about lighting and then different textures and how important they are. But
another thing I loved was the tables. They bolted them down. Some bars have that. I know I've seen it around here. I think it's genius because you don't have to worry about things shifting, breaking, whatever. Those are sturdy tables.
And it's even easier on your help because when you have tables that you can move around, like it's right. It's a pain. You have to now physically put them back in their spot. Let them know if they're bolted in. You clean right around them. You're good. Yeah, and I knew about the ADA compliance issues. That's another thing you can't get over is the the handicap rules. Are very stringent and rightfully so.
That was another thing Samsung did wrong. I'm blowing up their spot right now.
Yeah, what?
They built over the sidewalk, so it became there wasn't enough space.
Gotta have space
with probably the ADA, right? Mm-hmm. So they got in trouble for that, and they had to redo the entire front of the building. Yeah, it was crazy. So they did all the same violations, but this wasn't a bar.
Yeah. And now everything's great. And you see how he made the bar wider? Yeah. And think of all the workstations. Smart. Like, they must have just gone to... Like, it's funny. Out of all the bars... I was thinking this as I saw it. It's not that this is the best renovation we've ever seen from Bar Rescue, but I think it's I want to put this in the right way. I think it's the greatest.
One of the best remodels. Maybe?
No, I'm just saying going from like 0 to whatever.
0 to 100.
You know what I mean? It was literally like, just a homemade mess.
One of the best transformations.
I'm just trying to say that. Yes, the transformation. That's right. It was the greatest transformation
level of change,
that I've seen because it was. A homemade and a poorly homemade messy dump turned into completely broken down so basically starting from scratch and then building it back up to be what it is, whereas we've seen bars get better facelifts. I mean, we've seen these incredible facelifts. this was transformation. This is probably the greatest transformation we've ever seen. Fans, if I always like when you correct me and tell me if you know of any greater transformations, I'd love to hear. But I was thinking in my brain, I mean, from what this was to what it became, I think it was probably the greatest transformation we've ever seen to a real working, functioning bar. I mean, even like the things that you don't think about, but the drain you put in the floor, like that's hard. Like plumbing in the floor and all that stuff,
right,
is a bitch. So.
I'm just happy they had the sinks too in there with the soda gun. Those are so necessary.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Think transformation, right? Just
that cut their 4 minutes right there.
I mean,
making those
so
drinks.
now just imagine when you go to work behind that bar. So I have someone who's going to be going to someone who works here. It's like, oh, the Cajun Bell. We keep saying we want to go. I'm like, well, I have to go because we got to find out if this place is, if this place is going to hold water, but it's still in business. So we know that. So I didn't get a chance to, we did see that they're up 35%. And
30%, I thought. Increase in food and alcohol sales.
Is it 30? What does that say?
Yours says, I think it's a 30, yeah.
Is it 30? All right, 30%.
30%.
Mark,
sir,
can you tell me what Bar Rescue, general thing on Bar Rescue updates says?
Yeah. By the looks of it, there aren't too many negative reviews. The only thing that I'm seeing here is positive. There's a lot of compliments to the staff. There's a lot of compliments to the food, the beers. Not seeing too much on like the cocktails specifically. The entertainment is can't miss. A lot of positivity coming out of this place from the owners, from both Jessica and David. It's a lot of really, really good news from this place. It looks super solid.
Okay, and have they been positive about their Bar Rescue experience?
100%. Yeah.
That's great.
I had a quote here. We literally got saved by it. That's not fake at all. The only reason I'm here today is because of the show. Otherwise, I'd be gone. That is a direct quote from Jessica in a review.
God bless them, because as you're going to see Gab doing the show, you're going to see that it's 50-50, sometimes less, meaning like 60% of the people or more shoot their mouths off. It's like they disparage the show, they disparage John
afterwards.
Yeah,
it's because it's reality. But the thing about this that I love is they are changing people's lives.
They are.
That is the kind of reality TV that is good TV, and it does good for people.
And they really are, and they're, because of when I think of the 40, 45% or even 50% of the ones who do appreciate it, they really appreciate it. We've had people franchise, we've had people who stop drinking because of the show. I mean, like it has been life transforming. So anyway, well, it looks like a Bar Rescue happy ending. Gabby, did I leave out anything? Any other notes from you, dear?
No, I think we got some of the best stuff out there, and I do have to say I would love to either visit the bar with you,
yes,
or we could send someone out there and get the feedback.
No, we will. No, you know what?
Let's just do a studio field trip.
We could,
right?
No, you know what? Mark, if you want to do it with us, let's not just go there. We'll go to we'll Uber and we'll go to a bunch. No, because there's got to be about 8 or 9 bar rescues in LA.
It would be kind of cool to catch up with them and do our own little segment for the after show.
You're right. All right, I'm in.
That we could do.
See, this is Mark. This is when you get a real host. See,
got it.
Not a poser like me.
You're not a poser.
Awesome. Okay, Gab, where do we find you?
So you guys can follow me on Twitter at Gabrielle_Loren. I'm on Periscope too now. I'm building up that base.
Oh, good girl.
Yeah, so that's Gabrielle Loren, my first and middle name. And then Instagram is GABBY_LOREN. Thanks, guys.
All righty. At Undergaro for me. You can check out thetomorrowshow.com. We're going up live tonight. Then Thursday night. I'm probably going to rope Gabby into that at some point. And I think that's all. You guys keep sending your comments. Put them on the YouTube page or up on iTunes, or you can tweet at Gabby or me. We love hearing your thoughts, your questions, and keep watching Bar Rescue. We have, from what I understand, we've been re-signed for many more episodes.
Yes.
So very exciting.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AFTERBUZZTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AFTERBUZZ TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.